Peace and love, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Good evening. Glad to have you all here today. Happy Tuesday, Freedom Riders. So, how are you all?
Peace and love, Mother Shay Marie. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Love,
This is
Mother Sherry.
Mother Cheryl.
Peace, Mother. How are you?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello? Are you
Yes.
there?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. She must be having some issues. Well, good evening to everybody, all the Freedom Riders. Thank you all for joining this evening. So Sunday we ended chapter 10 on the book of the complete book of wills, estates, and trusts. I ended in the middle of the chapter. I didn't complete the whole chapter. It was pretty long. So still have a few more pages to get through. And so I'm going to get through that tonight, and then we can discuss anything else. Did anybody have any questions or have anything to say before I got started?
Um, yeah, this is Mother Cheryl. My internet cut off.
Okay. Glad to have you back.
Yeah. So what are we doing tonight?
Well, normally we are just reading, completing our book readings. But after that, we can discuss any of the opportunities, wealth building opportunities, or anything like that that needs to be that anyone wants to address.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just gonna complete the chapter 10 just for tonight because I didn't finish it all on Sunday. It was quite lengthy, and I really got tired of reading for that long amount of time. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it out tonight. Does anyone have a copy of the book yet? Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and continue. We were reading about, we were going through who may contest your will, and it was giving grounds for contest. So we had went through the first three grounds of contest. The first three were lack of testamentary capacity, improper execution, and undue influence. So we're going to pick up on fraud or mistake. So it says, as mentioned above, these categories, particularly fraud, can often be closely associated with undue influence, and in many will contests, the contestant will allege both fraud and undue influence. Fraud will occur when the testator makes or signs a will as the result of having been willfully deceived as to the nature or the content of his will, or as to some facts that bear upon the disposition of his property. Mistake is the same, but without the willful deceit by a third person. The common element between the two is that the testator acted on false information. The sometimes unfortunate difference between the two is that a will is almost never invalidated because of mistake, while it is readily rejected where fraud can be shown. Fraud can occur either when tricking the testator into signing a will that he doesn't realize is a will, or when the testator is given false information with the intention of causing him to make out his will based on the false information. An interesting example of the first occurred when Randolph Brinkley decided his elderly and ailing neighbor, Miss Constance Hildreth, should finally repay him for all his kindness. On a friendly visit to her home one day, Brinkley invited Miss Hildreth to join an organization of which he was a member in fine standing, devoted to the care of preservation of cats. Having three of her own, Miss Hildreth was pleased to sign the application form that Brinkley had conveniently brought with him. The form was actually Miss Hildreth's will, neatly printed and leaving her in. The form was actually Miss Hildreth's neatly printed and leaving. I'm sorry. The form was actually Miss Hildreth's will, neatly printed and leaving her entire estate to Brinkley. Wow. Realizing that the will had to be witnessed, Brinkley then visited two more of his neighbors and asked them if they would sponsor Miss Hildreth as a member of this wonderful organization for cats, and they did. Not long after, old Constance checked out of this life, and Brinkley brought the will in for probate. It quickly occurred to him, however, that he may have a problem when the witnesses are asked to testify that they saw Constance sign her will. His only solution, he thought, was to get rid of the witnesses. Wow. So on another of his neighborly visits, Brinkley brought them a gift of some delicious breakfast cake. Saving it for the next morning, the neighbors left it on their table. In the meantime, while the neighbors were out, the landlord and his wife stopped by. Wow. And within minutes of helping themselves to a bite of the lovely cake, they both died of convulsions. Of course, Constance's will was declared invalid and Brinkley was hanged for murder. Mm-mm-mm. The other type of fraud referred to as fraud in the inducement is more common than the type discussed above. Normally, it results from either the proposal of false information or the concealment of a material fact, which causes the testator to make out his will in a fashion that he would not have done were it not for the false information. An illustration of this not uncommon type of fraud is the Holmes case. Samuel Holmes made out his will, leaving everything to his two nieces, Daisy and Florence. On Samuel's death, Daisy filed for probate of Samuel's will and listed herself and Florence as Samuel's only heirs. Probate petitions normally require a statement showing there were no will, whether or not they are mentioned in the will. The will was admitted to probate, but then another niece, Wilma Holbert, surfaced to contest the will. Wilma offered testimony from witnesses stating that Samuel thought his sister, Wilma's mother, was dead and that she had no children. Otherwise, he would have made the will in her favor. There was also evidence to show that Daisy knew that Samuel had another niece. In fact, Daisy had letters to Samuel from Wilma, but had destroyed them. And on Samuel's death, she took no steps to notify any heirs other than her sister. From all the evidence, the court concluded that Daisy fraudulently withheld information from Samuel, which caused him to make out his will in her favor and differently than would have otherwise. What is interesting, however, is that the court did not declare the will invalid, but merely the bequest to Daisy. The bequest to Florence was allowed to stand as she had no part in the fraud, and Wilma got her fair share. The problems that sometimes arise with the question of fraud are the cause of and effects of the fraud. If the mistaken belief had nothing to do with making of the will, the fraud may not overturn the will. For instance, say that Bartholomew seeks a CPA to head up the accounting department of his company. He hires Morris, who presented a phony resume. In fact, Morris was not an accountant, but had extensive experience as a bookmaker in New Jersey. He, however, does an extraordinary job and becomes so close to Bartholomew that Bartholomew, who has no close relatives, names Morris as beneficiary of his estate. Is Morris guilty of fraud? Well, he may be as the securing of the position, and if he didn't get the position, then he never would have been mentioned in Bart's will. But does this fraud negate the will? Probably not, since it was Morris's good and faithful performance, as well as his close relationship with Bart, that led to the will, not his fraud in gaining employment. Change the facts just a little, however, and we may have more of a problem. Say that Abby and Kendall meet and fall in love. Kendall proposes, Abby accepts, and they are married. The only problem is that Kendall is already married, but he decides not to tell Abby as he feels it would definitely put a crimp in her day. After they are married, they make out wills, leaving everything to each other. As most couples do, Abby dies first, and Kendall proceeds to take her estate under the will. Can Abby's parents contest what Kendall was Kendall guilty of fraud? Or how about this? Abby is 76 and Kendall 30. Abby has a few million and Kendall has a few dollars. Does this change the picture? Would it matter if they were married for 20 years? There is no hard and fast rule, except that if it can be shown that Kendall lied about his marital status primarily to gain access to Abby's estate, then it is likely the will be overturned for fraud. On the other hand, if it can be shown that Abby would have provided for him even if she had known of the deceit, which might have been the case after 20 years, but not after 1 year, then the bequest might be allowed to stand. Mistake in making a will, as noted above, is virtually the same as fraud, but without fraud. Because of the absence of fraud, a will is unlikely to be invalidated on the basis of mistake, except in the rarest of cases. That is, no matter how unfair the results seem to be, the courts will not reject a will simply because the testator mistakenly believed that his son was dead, for example, or that his daughter didn't need the money, or did not know that he did not own the property he left to his grandchildren. So long as the mistakes were innocent and no fraud was involved. An unfortunate illustration is the case discussed in Chapter 7, where the testator disinherited his son because he mistakenly believed the son was illegitimate. Many other cases exist where the testator omitted the relative or one relative or another on the mistaken belief that the relative was dead. In such cases, the will stands and the mistakenly omitted beneficiaries have no recourse. The only time that there may be relief for mistake is when the mistake is apparent on the face of the will, and it is equally apparent on the face. It is equally apparent on the face of the will that the testator would have provided for the omitted beneficiary had he known the true facts. For instance, in the case of the supposedly illegitimate child, the results would have been different if the father's will had said, I leave my estate in equal shares to my lawful children, excluding my son, Irving, because I believe him to be the child of someone else. Other types of mistakes, such as a misspelled or incorrect name, or a mistake in the description of property, or leaving the same property to two beneficiaries, generally are resolved by offering evidence to the court as to what the testator meant or intended. They are seldom, if ever, a reason for voiding the will. As a result, they do not involve a will contest, but merely a request of the court to interpret the terms of the will. For instance, say that the testatrix leaves my apartment number 3 in building 819 to my son Alexander, and she does not own that one, but owns apartment number 9 in building 813. If it can be shown that she intended the bequest to be the apartment 9, then the court will acknowledge the mistake and allow her son to take the corrected bequest. Similarly, if a bequest is made to my daughter's son, Robert Jenkins, and the daughter's son's name is Ronald Jenkins, the bequest will be honored. So number 5, revocation. Peace and love. Welcome, Brother Rumsky. Revocation as grounds for a will contest would occur when a party offered a will for probate, but the contesting party contends that the will has been revoked. This could happen, for example, where a subsequent will had been made revoking the will offered for probate, or where the will offered for probate has been revoked, but the instrument was not destroyed. For instance, a case discussed in Chapter 4 describes the testator who directed that his will be thrown into a fire. The beneficiary pretended to do so, but the will remained intact. As pointed out earlier, the will was legally revoked by the testator, but if the beneficiary offers it for probate after his death, the testator will not be around to dispute it. It is easily and convenient to offer such fact patterns in a book to illustrate legal principles, but as a practical matter, unless the contestants of the will can offer some testimony or other evidence that the testator thought he destroyed the will, the contest may be lost. Partial revocation, however, is what gives beneficiaries the most trouble and perhaps generates the most in legal fees. Drawing lines through someone's name or bequest in a will and then initialing it generally spells trouble. In fact, you might just as well write the word trouble across the page and leave it at that. In most states, this is not a revocation, but rather an invalid attempt at changing the terms of the will, which can be done only through a properly executed codicil. So don't do it. Number 6, bogus will. A bogus or inauthentic will generally involves fraud and, like certain other grounds for contest, overlaps with it. The story of Randolph Brinkley, discussed above in the section on fraud, is an illustration of a will that was rejected as not being the will of the deceased. The same would apply, for instance, where the will was originally that of the deceased, but someone made an unauthorized change to it, then offered it for probate. This method can be quite difficult to detect, since in most cases the will was privately signed by the testator and witnessed according to law. But as it's often the case, those stealing from the dead are usually amateur thieves and don't cover their tracks very well. As illustrated in the estate of Nora Winkle, about 5 years before her death, Nora had her lawyer make out her will, which was properly signed, witnessed, and notarized in the lawyer's office. The will left Nora's entire estate in trust for her husband for his lifetime, and on his death, the remainder was to go to Nora's stepdaughter. On Nora's death, the will was offered for probate. At first glance, everything looked in order. The will was properly signed by Nora. The witness had signed, everyone's signature was notarized, and Nora herself had even placed her initial on every page. But something had changed. Instead of the remainder passing to the stepdaughter, the first page of the will stated that on the husband's death, the remainder should pass to Nora's brothers and sisters. Naturally, the stepdaughter stepped in to contest the will. It seems that after Nora made out her will, one of her brothers went to Nora's lawyer and instructed him to make out a new will because Nora had changed her mind and decided to leave the remainder to her brothers and sisters. The brothers specifically asked that the lawyer have the will typed on the same typewriter as the one used on Nora's first will. The lawyer did so and waited to hear from Nora. Then one day, while the lawyer was out, the new draft of Nora's will mysteriously disappeared from his office. In court, he later identified page 1 of the will in probate as the second will he had drafted and not the one signed earlier by Nora in his office. The brother or someone had placed Nora's initials on the new first page, substituted that page for the earlier one, and offered the original will for probate. Nice try, said the court, but no cigar. and no will either. The will offered for probate was not Nora's will and was therefore rejected. Okay, how to contest a will. The exact procedure for contesting a will varies considerably from state to state, but certain basic steps and principles apply nevertheless, with the important reminder that this is not a legal textbook and that particularly in the case of will contest, the assistance of a competent attorney is vital to success. The following are basic principles. Briefly, states follow either of two methods for probate of a will. One is with notice to the heirs, the surviving spouse, and the beneficiaries under the will, and the other is without notice. In those states that allow a will to be probated without notice, such as Georgia, Virginia, and New Hampshire, the contest of the will is filed with the probate court after the will is probated. This means that the longer you wait, the greater the chance of estate assets being used or expended. Once you file your action to contest the will, however, the probate process is usually suspended until the case can be heard or until interim administrators can be appointed to administer the estate while the contest is proceeding. In these states, you usually have a much longer time within which to file your contest against the will. It may be a period of years after the will is probated, but it is usually tied to the period of administration of the estate. That is, you should file your contest before or within a very short time after the estate is settled and the court issues a decree releasing the executor. In those states that require notice before the will is allowed for probate, such as New York, Massachusetts, and Maryland, you must file your objection to the allowance of the will before the date set for the court's review of the will, which is often only a month or less after the petition is filed by the person who wants to probate the will. If you fail to file within that period, you may lose your right to contest the will. A few states that require notice allow you to contest on certain grounds before or after the will is allowed. It is not a good idea to wait, however, if you feel you have grounds to contest. Whatever the state you file in, once your objections are filed, the probate is effectively suspended, and this, if nothing else, gives you a little leverage to gain a settlement, if a settlement is desired or possible. But as noted below, do not file groundless objections for the sole purpose of forcing a settlement, or you may find yourself with nothing but the requirement to pay legal fees for both sides. If the estate requires management, and it almost always does, while the contest is pending, an administrator will be appointed by the court to continue the administration. Often, co-administrators are appointed, one from each side. You should aim for this to keep matters honest. But if this is not agreeable to the parties or to the court, an independent administrator, usually an outside attorney, will be appointed by the court to serve until the contest is settled. Of course, he gets a fee for this. If you do decide to contest, the very first thing you should do is consult with an attorney to determine whether you have grounds to contest and show how soon you must file your objections. There is more on attorneys in Chapter 14. Remember, you should not delay in consulting an attorney, otherwise you may lose your right to contest. You should bring with you copies of any notices you have received in connection with the probate or proposed probate, copies of any correspondence to or from the deceased or anyone else relating to his intentions or his estate, copies of any previous wills or trusts that you may have, and in general, any information that bears upon your involvement with the deceased or his estate. If your attorney decides you have grounds to object, he will prepare the necessary pleadings to file a formal objection to the allowance of the will or to revoke its allowance. Remember that at some point, this pleading must specifically state in detail your objections, the grounds for your objections, and the facts on which your objections are based. While at one time it was relatively easy to tie up an estate on questionable grounds, the current trend in the courts is to punish frivolously and groundless objections by requiring the troublemaker to pay the costs and fees for both sides. So don't be surprised if your attorney discourages you from proceeding despite what might look to you like a good case. If you get to the point where it is decided that you have a case worth pursuing and objections are to be filed, the next thing to do is get out your wallet and get ready for a long, expensive, and unpleasant ride. Anybody have anything they wanted to say before I continue? Like I said, it's quite a long chapter. Okay. Moving on. Cost and delays of a will contest. After you get over the anger and hurt of being left out of your favorite aunt's will, your father's will because he left his estate to his new young wife, you should think long and hard before you rush in to contest the will. As noted above, the first thing to do is establish whether you have grounds for a contest. If so, then you should think long and hard again, because it can be a lengthy and expensive procedure with no guarantee of success, even though you may have what appears to be a solid case. Remember, you are bucking a strong presumption that the will is valid and that it actually reflects the last wishes of the testator. The statistics show that only a very tiny percentage of will contests is successful. If despite this you decide to proceed, you should realize that you yourself are responsible for the fees and other costs of the contest, while the other side, the executor and other beneficiaries, is financially backed by the estate. Assuming that you would not challenge the will unless the estate was substantial in size, this means that they can afford to go the distance, while you may be mortgaging your home to do so. Most competent attorneys, expert in the field, will not take a will contest case on a contingent fee. You don't win, you don't pay basis. There are, of course, exceptions to this, but in most cases, your attorney will not want a retainer. Your attorney will want a retainer and your promise to pay costs plus his ongoing fee, perhaps at a reduced hourly rate against a percentage of whatever you may win. To pursue the case actively, costs would include stenographers, costs for dispositions. There will probably be a lot of them. Investigator fees and travel expenses if the disposition must be held in other states. It is not at all unusual for legal fees and expenses to run $10,000 to $50,000 in an average will contest, particularly if it goes to trial. Considering again that you may not be a winner, you must ask yourself if you can afford this kind of sport. The good news is that if you are successful, you will at least indirectly recover your fees and expenses from the estate, and the bad guys in most cases must now pay their costs out of their own pocket. It's sort of the winner take all concept, except that in some cases, if the executor has acted in good faith, the court has discretion to allow him legal fees, even though the will was ultimately rejected. You must also consider the time involved. These fees are not expended over a month or two. They are more likely to represent a year or two, and much of your own time is often required. And then there is the trial. Even after the preliminary pleadings and discovery period, dispositions, and other searches for information, there are potential delays in finally reaching the time for trial. And then there is a possible appeal, and there may be more than one appeal. Just look at the Nathaniel Cooper case discussed earlier. It took 10 years for that case to finally resolve. Unless you have an ironclad case, therefore, you might be better off spending the money on a psychological counselor to help you get over the hurt and realize that the money will not make you happier, unless, of course, it is really a big estate. How to prevent a contest. Money can be a great rationalizer, particularly where estates are concerned. People who would not dream of suing their brothers, sisters, parents, or cousins suddenly feel quite justified in vigorously seeking their rightful share of an estate, contesting a will that left them out or did not leave them enough. It is no secret that will contests are public, painful, and expensive, no matter who wins or loses. But is there a way to prevent or at least discourage a contest? Basically, there are 3 ways to prevent a will contest. 1, include an anti-contest provision in your will and give the beneficiary something to lose. During your lifetime, enter into a written agreement with the beneficiary where she agrees not to contest. And 3, put all your property in a living trust. Anti-contest provision. Although I feel that a provision of this sort belongs in just about every will, for some reason it is very seldom used by the average law firm. While it is impossible to take away a person's right to his day in court, it is quite impossible to discourage him from exercising that right by giving him something to lose if he makes that choice. Because of the lack of an anti-contest provision in most wills, in the majority of will contests, the contestant has nothing to lose except the expenses of waging the contest. And while such expenses may not be minor, they may pay off in the form of a settlement with the executor or the other heirs. What's more, the contestant may still be entitled to the bequest left to him under the will. For instance, say that dad has 4 children, Ina, Mina, Minnie, Mo. Any, mini, miny, mo, apparently. And in his will, he left Ina, Mina, and Minnie $150,000 each, but only $20,000 to Mo. Mo contests to the will and settles with the estate out of court for $30,000. What? Depending on the terms of the settlement, Mo might get not only his $30,000, but also the $20,000 left to him under the will. In fact, Mo has nothing to lose except the cost of the contest. To make matters worse, the estate will have to pay its own legal fees, which in some cases could have the effect of reducing the other children's bequest under the will. An effective way to discourage people like Mo would have been to include an anti-contest provision, also called a non-contestant provision, a forfeiture clause, and an interim clause in the will. In simple terms, provisions of this type say that anyone who contests the will automatically forfeits any bequest made to him under the will. This provision is quite enforceable in most states. Thus, if Dad's will, in the example above, provided that $20,000 bequest to Mo was subject to the condition that he did not contest the will, it is likely that Mo would have thought twice before contesting the will and waiving his $20,000 goodbye, not to mention the out-of-pocket legal fees he would incur. A non-contestant clause will be useless. However, to prevent an omitted beneficiary from contesting the estate unless he has something to lose, and this is the price from contesting the estate unless he has, to prevent an omitted beneficiary from contesting the estate unless he has something to lose, and this is the price you must pay to discourage the contest. To make the clause work, the amount at risk must be a meaningful amount to the beneficiary, an amount that will make him think before he rushes to his lawyer's office and starts running up legal fees. The $1 bequests are certainly out, as are those in the hundreds, I will say. And you can always get creative and offer payments over a period of years, say 2,000 or more per year for 5 years, depending on the size of your estate and how much you want to discourage a contest. But this would only prolong settlement of the estate. Including a non-contestant clause in your will does not mean that a contest is legally prohibited. It merely means a contestant will lose his share of your estate if he attempts to interfere with the probate of the will. If the contestant is willing to risk that loss and the contestant is subsequently successful, the presence of the non-contested provision will be moot because the will itself would have been overturned. For instance, say that you don't realize it, but you are the victim of undue influence. Your daughter has manipulated you into a position where you are totally dependent on her. And thanks to her stories, you are becoming resentful of your other children. As a result, you make a will leaving your estate 50% to your daughter and 25% to each son, providing they do not contest the will. But your daughter is not satisfied with this. Before you sign the will, she changes the figure so that she receives 80% and the boys 10% each. Again, with the non-contestant clause, the changes are imperceptible and you do not notice them when you initial each page and sign the will. After your death, the boys find out what their sister has done, but now they must decide whether to risk loss of their 10% each of your estate. Decide whether to risk loss of their 10% each of your estate. What would you want to happen in this case? To prevent such inequities and fraud from escaping judicial review, many experts object to enforceability of non-contestant clauses on the basis that they can discourage an authorized valid contest and allow a defective or fraudulent will. And as in my example above, to prevail in fact, a number of states such as Iowa, Missouri, New Jersey, and California provide that a non-contestant clause will not be enforced against a beneficiary who is found to have probable cause for his contest. In as many other states, however, including Georgia, Pennsylvania, and New York, the courts have held that a non-contestant clause can be effective regardless of whether the beneficiary had probable cause to contest the will. In other words, the probable clause states even if you had a non-contested provision, the beneficiary could contest the will and still receive his bequest even though he loses the contest provided he had good causes for filing for the contest. What constitutes probable or good cause will depend upon the facts of the case. Obviously, a court can decide only if there was probable cause after a sufficient number of facts have been disclosed. If you do decide to include a non-contestant clause in your will, you must be sure to provide what will happen to the forfeited bequest if the beneficiary does not contest. This is called a gift over, and without it, the clause will be invalid. For instance, you might say, not in these exact words, any beneficiary who contests this will shall forfeit his bequest, and such forfeited bequest shall pass to the other named beneficiaries hereunder in equal shares. Or if my son George contests his will, his bequest shall pass instead to my son Charles. The most frequent problem with this contestant strategy of giving them something to lose is that if you really want to disinherit someone, you probably don't want to leave them anything like $10,000 or $20,000 or more, depending on the size of your estate. This problem can be avoided almost altogether by leaving your property through a living trust rather than through your will, as discussed later in this chapter. Agreement with the beneficiary. As frequently as non-contesting provisions are used, agreements with beneficiary are even more scarce. With one exception, marital agreements. As discussed in Chapter 7, premarital agreements or postmarital agreements or separation agreements usually contain a provision that neither spouse will contest the will of the other. Since fair consideration was given for this promise, it will be enforceable and can be used to prevent or stop the will contest in violation of his provisions. Where beneficiaries other than a spouse are concerned, however, the occurrence is quite rare. If you are not on friendly terms with a beneficiary to begin with, it would seem highly unlikely, to say the least, that he would sign an agreement not to contest your will, even if you paid him. As the beneficiaries with whom you have the relationship, they will probably be taking a fair share of your estate anyway. So a non-contested provision in your will wouldn't do the trick and eliminate the embarrassment of asking them during your lifetime. Nevertheless, if somehow the unusual circumstances arise, it is possible to enter into enforceable agreement with beneficiaries not to contest your will. Almost finished, I believe. Maybe not. Okay, use of a living trust. As I have noted several times throughout this book, your will relates only to property that is in your probate estate. It follows, therefore, let me go back, because probate estate, we got to remember, is things that are basically in our straw man, whatever is in your straw man or attached to your Social Security number. It follows, therefore, that the contestant of a will affects only the property in your probate estate, and that property passing outside your probate estate may not be affected by the will contest. Contesting the will, therefore, becomes worthwhile to the contestants only if there is a substantial amount of probate property. Without that, a will contest can be meaningless. For instance, say that Attila, who is single, has an estate consisting of 3 tons of gold in 6 small countries, all in his own name. He makes out a will leaving everything to his 12 sons and nothing to his daughter, Honey. Since all of Attila's property was in his name, it will pass according to the terms of his will, but only after the will is allowed for probate. If Honey contests the will, therefore all the probate property will be tied up and the sons will get nothing until the will contest is disposed of. Placing the property in joint names with his sons might avoid this exposure to a certain extent, but as pointed out in Chapter 2, jointly owned property can be attacked as probate property and, in many instances, can be brought back into the probate estate. This is not, therefore, a reliable way to avoid a will contest. So what should Attila have done if he didn't want Honey to inherit? Attila should have placed the gold and the real estate into a living trust during his lifetime. He could, as discussed in chapters 11 and 12, keep control over all the trust assets during his lifetime and provide in the trust that on his death, whatever remains would pass directly to his sons. Although a trust is not impossible to attack, it is far more difficult to attack than a will. A will does not take effect as a legal instrument until the death of the testator, and even then, not until the probate court has allowed it. A trust, on the other hand, becomes effective and operative as a legal instrument as soon as the settlor, the person who creates the trust, places assets into it. Since he does this during his lifetime, since the trust is operating with his full knowledge and, in most cases, control, it is difficult for a contestant of the trust to argue that the settlor lacked the capacity to do it, that he was unduly influenced, that it was improperly executed, or that someone fraudulently induced him to set up the trust. In fact, it is extremely rare to hear of a case where a would-be beneficiary successfully attacked a living trust. Another reason such attacks are far less frequent and far less successful than will contests that the contestants have no leverage. That is, through a will contest, the contestant can tie up the assets of the estate for years, preventing everyone from getting the full benefit and use of the property. As a result, the estate has an incentive to settle with contestants just to get rid of them and begin enjoying the property. I'm sorry. When the assets are in a living trust, however, the contestant accepts, in rare cases where trust assets are rapidly disappearing, has no right to tie up the trust assets while he is attacking the trust. And so the existing trust beneficiaries can go on enjoying the benefits despite the contest. Because of this, trust contestants usually find themselves wasting a good deal of time and money only to find that they have little or no chance of breaking the trust. For the details on how to have your own trust, see Chapter 11 and 12. Finally, if you want to double your protection against a contestant, you can also consider including an anti-contested provision in your trust as well as your will. All of the same rules and considerations relative to the inclusion of the anti-contest provision in wills apply to its inclusion in trust. And this includes necessity of giving the contestant something to lose. That is as with a will. If you want to discourage a beneficiary from contesting the trust, you should make a bequest to him, continued upon his agreement not to contest or attack the trust. Despite all of this, I suppose that if there is enough money involved and someone feels shortchanged, it's a good bet that someone will contest something for some reason, whether it be under a will or a trust, even though he or she may realize that the only guaranteed winners are the lawyers. Okay, I got 2 more pages and I'm done, guys. Probating a lost will. The mention of probating a lost will may cause you to ask 2 questions. If we are probating a will, even a lost one, what does this have to do with a will contest? And the second, how can you probate a will if it is lost? As to the first question, it is not unusual for a person to make more than one will. It is also not usual or unusual for someone to offer for probate a will that may not be the last will of the deceased, on the basis that if the last will cannot be found, it must be lost. If it is lost, it may give rise to the presumption in the law of many states that a will that was in the testator's possession but cannot now be found is presumed to have been canceled or destroyed by him, and therefore the will be made out before the lost will is offered for probate. But not everyone may agree that the lost will was destroyed by the testator, and so they would contest the allowance of the earlier will and at the same time offer to probate the lost will in the manners to be reviewed shortly. There is also the more devious situation in which The beneficiary of an earlier will who is omitted from the last will destroys the last will and offers the one before it for probate. If the other beneficiaries do not have a copy or any other evidence of the existence of the lost will, they would be out of luck. Furthermore, the same dastardly deed could be committed even if there was no prior will. This would happen, for example, where the wrongdoer stood to inherit more if the deceased died without a will, as happened in the case of Laverne Ketchum. Laverne lived with her two sisters for many years, all three of them being single. They enjoyed a good relationship and each made out a will, leaving her estate to the other two. About 2 years before her death, however, Laverne met young Adolfo, who swept her off her 22-year-old feet. 72-year-old feet. After a year of intense courting and romance, they became engaged to be married. And as a gesture of their faith and devotion to each other, both Laverne and Adolfo wrote out new wills, leaving everything to each other. And whether or not the marriage took place, unfortunately, only a few months before the scheduled wedding, while Laverne was boating with Adolfo, the boat capsized and Laverne drowned. Grief-stricken, Adolfo immediately asked Laverne's sister for the will so he could attend to Laverne's last wishes. The sisters carefully searched through Laverne's private papers, all of which were kept in their home but could find no will. The sisters then petitioned for administration of Laverne's estate on the basis that she left no will, in which case the two sisters, as Laverne's only heirs, would inherit her entire estate. When Adolfo raised the question of the will Laverne had recently signed, knowing that it was among Laverne's papers, the sisters replied that they knew of no other will and that even if there was one, the fact that it cannot be found raises the presumption that Laverne herself destroyed it with the intention of revoking it. Adolfo continued to object, claiming there was a will, but that it must be lost, not revoked. He told the court about his and Laverne's pledge to each other, and even offered his own will as evidence to show proof that each provided for the other in a will. Therefore, he said he should be entitled to Laverne's estate. Was this enough? If the court believed Adolfo's story, could it allow Laverne's estate to pass to him? Generally, to probate a lost will, you must be able to prove by satisfactory evidence, the contestants of the will and its proper execution. If a copy of the lost will is available, this would certainly be acceptable evidence of its contents. And if a copy was taken after the will was signed and witnessed, then this would be convincing to help show that it was fact signed and properly witnessed. It may not be enough, however, just as it would not be enough if it were the original, or all of the witnesses must testify as the execution of the will by themselves and by the testator. In other words, a loss must be proved just like any other will, except that the original is not available. If there is no copy of the will may nevertheless be proved and probated in evidence of its contents, and execution can be proved. This may be difficult to prove, although it is not necessary to prove the exact words of the will, only the subject of the content and intents. Nevertheless, it is still difficult since witnesses do not usually read the will, and unless there is some corroborating evidence, such as testimony of the attorney who drafted it, proof is unlikely to be available. In Adolfo's case, he lost because he did not have a copy of Laverne's will and had no idea who the witnesses were or who was the lawyer who made it out. Without this, the will could not be constructed. Perhaps one of the most famous, although not terribly fascinating attempts at probating a lost will that in the Howard Hughes estate. Was that in the Howard Hughes estate. After the much more interesting case of the Mormon will discussed in chapter 1 was disposed of, it was then contended that Hughes had made out a valid will many years before, but it had been lost. The proponent of the lost will was Howard Hughes Medical Institute, a charitable organization founded by Howard Hughes during his lifetime. The opponents were Hughes's distant heirs, who stood to inherit what was left to the several billions after state debts and expenses were paid. In its 1977 petition, to probate the lost will, the Institute attempted to show that Hughes had signed a will in 1925, leaving his entire estate to the Institute. Although the Institute presented a rough draft of the will, it was unable to show that it was ever signed and could not produce witnesses or any corroborating evidence of the execution. As a result, the court rejected it and in 1980 decided once and possibly for all that Hughes left no will. Now, if you can just prove you were related to him, occasionally a will can be considered lost even though its whereabouts are known but no longer accessible. In very bizarre case illustrating the point, justice won out. Young Andre Lacy was shocked at the sudden death of his wife, but even more shocked when he found that she had left him only the legal minimum from her small fortune. As soon as his wife's will was offered for probate, Andre and his mother went forthwith to the probate court and asked to examine the original will, since they felt his wife was insane at the time she made it out. When the court clerk removed the will from the file, Andre's mother snatched the will from his hand, and she ran around his desk to recover it. She handed it to Andre, who, according to the New York Times account of the story, quickly put it in his mouth, chewed it violently, and swallowed it without a pause before the eyes of the astonished clerk. Here was a truly lost will. Unfortunately for Andre, a carbon copy of the will was available, as well as the necessary testimony of the witnesses, and the will was probated as written. All right, that concludes this chapter, everyone. You guys can unmute yourselves. You guys there?
Hello.
Peace.
Hello, Mother. Still here.
Oh, hello. Good evening. So that was a very long chapter, very interesting information. So I hope you guys are finding this of value. I hope.
That story about, what was his name? Adolfo? The
Hugh?
one whose girlfriend
Adolfo.
drowned.
Yes, Adolfo.
That one is so super suspect.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see. A lot of them are, honestly.
That story sounded crazy, and then the sisters like anybody that knew that she was writing that will was like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Right, right. Yeah, interesting stuff. But I guess so. They're saying it's good to have a will, but it's also good to have a trust as well to back up your will, kind of.
Yeah. Yep.
Anybody else? Or did anyone else have anything they want to discuss?
Are you done? Or you have some more to go?
No, that was the end of that chapter. I'm not I'm not reading anymore tonight.
Okay.
Yep, I'm absolutely
Where are you guys at? I'm over here playing hooky for a second. Where y'all at?
yeah, where is everybody? They must have fell asleep. Peace,
I'm
mother.
here.
I'm here.
I hope I wasn't boring y'all out.
Oh, no.
So how are you all?
I'm okay.
Well, if no one else has anything they wanted to discuss, we can end for the night.
I wanted to find out about the, I'm Cheryl. I sent you the link on Telegram today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm that pain in the butt.
I don't know what you wanted to find out about what?
No, I just wanted to, is there anything else that I needed to do?
Basically start sharing your link with others, start sharing the opportunity, sharing the videos, trying to get, people to sign up, because you do need referrals. I put your link on the rotator, but we all know how that goes. Things have been moving pretty good. This is a real simple opportunity. Right now, it's only costing about maybe $5 to get started, at the most. And so a lot of people, we can, get them to adopt. Shiba Inu is definitely a currency that's going to be, accepted in different areas and different industries. I discussed with you all before AMC. I showed you AMC was discussing accepting it as form of payment, and so others are going to be doing that as well. I'm sorry.
What
So
happened? Are you trying to sneeze?
yes, that was a sneeze. Excuse. So Shiba Inu is one of those currencies. I'm not saying, you may want to have in your portfolio, and this is a very easy way for you to accumulate them without having to spend much money, by teaching other people, showing other people, sharing the opportunity with others. So that's why you have an affiliate center there. You have links in the affiliate center that provide scripts that you can use, different things that you can use to promote the opportunity. So make sure that you browse around and just read those certain things that are in the back office. And then, just start sharing with those.
Yeah, because I was looking through it, and I wasn't sure how the ad, the banner, I think it was that you.
You're talking about let me see here. You're talking about set up banner ads. You there, mother? As y'all can see here, I've been busy helping people, but I've already generated 809 of these coins. So my wallet, I've also helped a few people as well. So right now in my wallet, I have like 600,000 left, because I've been actually helping people sign up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My internet is really bad. It's kicked me out like about 12 times already.
But these are, let's see here. Yeah, you're talking about the banner ads?
Yeah.
Okay. I myself don't use them, but you definitely can use them. Add new banner ad.
I don't know what that means. I just saw it and I was like, I don't know what that means. So I don't know what to do with that. but it says banner credits available. I don't know, well, like I guess you have to pay for it or whatever is with your Shibu Inu. Is that how that goes?
No, I think the system gives you credits itself to create banners. So banner URL, website URL. Like me myself, I haven't necessarily used this portion of it.
And then it says purchase referrals. If you see that.
Purchase referrals I can tell you about. I did make a video about that. So before you even go there, let me go to my dashboard very quickly. So what it is they have this pay it forward system. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that have signed up and may not have the money to sign up or whatever, but they signed up just to be nosy or whatever the case may be. You want to pay it forward to help them get their first position, right? And maybe if they get their first position, then they'll get to work and start sharing their link, right?
Right.
So what it is these are right now, it shows them as free. The ones that are sponsored are that paid theirs, or I actually paid a couple of people's, but ones that say sponsored are the ones that are paid. So where it says free, you can go in your downline and look and see if someone signed up under you. And if it's not, if they haven't paid yet, you can click on where it says PIF, and you can go through the system of purchasing their first position for them, just as you did for yourself, and sending it from your own wallet. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing because I don't want to create a new ticket or anything like that. But same way you purchase your first position from your trust wallet, sending it to the particular currency that you choose. Of course, you have the 4 or 5 different currencies that they provide for you to be able to make your first deposit, which are Bitcoin, LTC, Litecoin, Binance, Sheep, or Tron. So either one of those you could have paid with. Okay.
Yeah, I just have the Shibu Inu. That's all I have in here.
Okay, that's fine. Though whichever one, they're just giving you those options, is what I'm saying. Okay.
So when you do the referral, it's helping somebody else to make their first.
Yes, when you can do the same thing for purchase referral. So if you don't have anyone in your downline yet and you want to purchase referrals, you go to purchase referrals and you do the same thing for people you see in the list, and you help them out.
Right. So does that reflect in your system too, that you help somebody out, or does it go towards you or anything, or?
Of course, because you're purchasing their referral.
Okay. Okay. Are you still there?
Yes, it says anyone who has been free for 48 hours will appear here. You may pay it forward. You may PIF them and they will become your referral.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes, you can pay it forward for other people as well and buy referrals as well. Okay.
Okay.
And when you buy referrals, keep in mind you're investing. You may be investing 100,000 sheep, but you get 21,000 of that right back. And then as they move up the boards, then you get more back. So it can be beneficial. I paid it for, like I said, I paid it for a couple of people, and it's been beneficial for me. As you can see, I've earned well over the 100,000 sheep that I paid into it. Okay.
Okay. And how can you withdraw from that, or
it deposits directly into your wallet. When you signed up, you put your wallet information in the registration form. Whenever you get signed up, it automatically goes to your wallet within like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh,
They
I
pay
see.
every hour on the hour, something like that.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
And let me pull up my email because they have actually put out some new information that I did want to go over. Since we are here, so let's talk about it. She okay. So you guys should have gotten this email as well.
Is that
And
about the Tron or something like that?
yes, so what's happened? Well, let me go back and let's read the first email about that. Let me see. I think it was from yesterday. Okay, nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, I think
I
this.
heard some news too, y'all. Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Okay, who was that?
It was Maria.
Oh,
I just heard that the supply was updated. Like they said there was 349 what's it called? Shibas, and now it's at 549 trillion.
right, because they've been going through some burns. Every so often they do a burn. So yeah, that helps to increase the value of the coin. So it's been a lot of talk about the price getting ready to go up as well. So most definitely, like this couldn't be not a better opportunity to come around and be able to earn so easily. So it says here, we hope you all are doing well. Shiba Profits has paid over $40 million. 40 million Shiba Inus in the last week. Great job to all the recruiters and everyone who is earning Shiba Inu. We have a few updates. Update 1, you can now update your Shiba Inu wallet directly in the back office. So for instance, if you put the Shiba Inu wallet from your crypto.com wallet and you want to change it to the Shiba Inu wallet from your Trust wallet, you can do that in your back office now. You don't have to email them in order to do so. Okay. Updates. It says to update 2, we are launching a sister site with a very similar pay plan in the Tron currency. So Tron is another currency that you definitely want to have in your portfolio. Super cheap right now. It's probably like 4 or 5 cents. But I won't say super cheap because it's not as cheap as Shiba Inu, but Tron definitely pays too. So this is a true sister site. What we mean is that the Tron site will feed the Shiba site. On every cycle through the first level of the Tron site, the user will receive a brand new entry into the Shiba site under their sponsor. One of the reasons we are doing this is that when you earn Shiba right now, you're not really earning money. You're just accumulating the assets for your future, for when it hits a penny or higher, okay? Because it's real cheap right now. So most of us are collecting the Shiba for future dates. So by creating the Tron program, we can earn Tron and build up our Shiba portfolio at the same time. You will be able to promote your Tron site, and every sign up there will result in a sign up into the Shiba Auto Profit site. We feel this will be a very cool addition as we have not seen anything like this done before, especially for Shiba Inu. Now you may wonder how you can sign up with the new Tron site with the current referrals. With your current referrals, the only way we can think of to do this accordingly is to use the downline builder system. So that's what the new email is about. So what they're saying now is We're over, they have 1,000 people that have joined so far. We're over the 1,000 mark. We've had added features where you can update. Okay, so we know about that. We are steadily working on our new sister site and believe it will be completed this week. We earlier stated that we would be using the downline builder to promote this new program to you. We will be using the downline builder for future members of staff, but will place all current members at the time of the new sister launch in the new program under your original sponsor to keep the confusion at a minimum. So basically what they're saying is your current downline that you currently have is going to transfer over to the new system so that you won't lose your current downline that you already have built up, just to keep the confusion down and people scrambling to steal other people's people, because that's a lot of time what happens in this industry. So it says we will be implementing a small purchase fee. We think of 2% to help offset the cost of exchanges of other coins for Shiba Inu. This will be added later today. This also helps us run contests as we have been doing from our profits since day one. Okay. You are receiving this message today because you remembered. All right, so good stuff, guys. That's something good to look forward to. I'm excited to see what that's going to look like.
So, Mother Shake, if I wanted to share this, my part,
Mhm.
like what link would I use? Where would I go to find my link? Is that the link I shared with you today, or that?
Yes,
Okay.
it's right here under affiliate. You go to the affiliate center tab,
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
the text link. Yep.
So if I want to share it with someone, I just say click on that link and it'll tell them all the information that you told me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And then you can always share, the YouTube videos and what else, whatnot. Let me go to, I want to see if they've created any more content. Anyone else have any questions?
The Tron should you do that through Trust Wallet or Coinbase?
Is Tron on Coinbase? You can do it on the Trust Wallet.
Have you
But-
guys heard of Toma? I believe it's TOMA.
No, I haven't heard of that. What is it?
I just heard it today while I was listening to a channel in the background. It's supposed to be something that's going to explode at some point.
Everything is going to explode. Yeah, but
I know.
yeah, there's so many coins out. I can't keep up half the time nowadays. It's like phooey. I just can't keep up. Now I'm trying to see, is Tron on Coinbase? Oh, wait, I think it is. It might be. Oh, yeah, it says this asset is not supported by Coinbase. So I think you might be able to get it on crypto.com. If not, there's another option. The only thing about crypto.com, you guys, they have that minimum withdrawal stuff.
Yeah, they do.
I don't like it, but everything else I do like about crypto.com though, honestly, except for that. And sometimes there are withdrawal fees. Other than that, they're wonderful. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions about Savings Highway Global? Anyone that has
Yeah.
the membership? What have you guys checked into so far?
I listened to the video, and the only reason I'm still thinking about it is just because you're involved. But yeah, Because
I
the
joined.
girl that did the presentation, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm over here biting my tongue. Hmm?
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to say about it. I don't know. I don't even know what it is still. I mean, I know you can save on so many things like your phone and car insurance and all of that, but and I believe the initial investment is $100. Is that right?
Well, there's two memberships. You can get the gold or platinum. Gold membership is $20, and then the platinum is $100. So you get more benefits
Okay.
from the $100, but you still get a lot of benefits from the $20 package as well. So I mean, let me see. We can actually go to a presentation for a presentation.
Hey, every thousands of dollars on and with that
for the company. So,
having you on my team.
hello and welcome to the Savings Highway Global presentation. My name is Bill Constane, Advisory Board Member and Chief Financial Advisor for the company. So excited to have you on board here today. Savings Highway opened for business in 2006. It is an A+ rated Better Business Bureau company where we've saved millions of dollars for customers all across the world. We've also paid millions of dollars in affiliate commissions as well. Since then, the company has grown into a team of caring members, expanding benefits and opportunities in a quest to reach our mission to help over 1 million families become debt-free. The slogan, would you pay $20 to save $1,000, has become a reality for so many. Steve Gresham, our CEO, started this successful marketing career over 30 years ago. Here he is with his wife, Luce, and he is dedicated to helping all of you become very successful. Our advisory board and key leaders from start to finish. That's me, Phil, and my wife, Nicole Constane. We have Tim Jones, Cornell and Shanita Jones, Keeneth Reed, along with Steve Gresham, Jeff Stolper, Sandy Bakken, Richard Bruff, Marlena Burton, and so many more. Well, here we go. Here's the website. Save big on travel, shopping, dining, and more. Average family saving $5,000 to $10,000 per year. Of course, as a disclaimer, this is not a guarantee of health, savings, or earnings. All results will vary. What a great website. So here, savings number one, shopping and get employee benefit discounts. Stop paying full price and save big money. So we have auto insurance. The average person is saving about $590 per vehicle. Again, employee benefit discounts for your auto insurance. Home insurance, the same thing. Save on home insurance. It just takes seconds, maybe a couple of minutes to get that done. Travel, the best travel engine I've ever seen. Save between 20 and 75% on over 1 million hotels and condos worldwide. Plus, get $1,500 condo weeks for as little as $300 per week. Never a timeshare presentation. And when you join, you get full access day one. This is just an example of some of the savings. In Miami Beach, saving up to 50%. Look at Aloft Miami Aventura, $296 on some of the common websites. With us, $130. With tax, only $151. You can compare your public prices in your back office, and you can verify those savings. Would you like to save big money on condo vacations? $1,500 vacations for as little as $300 per week. Here's an example of one for only $146 in Las Vegas. That's $21 a night. The Tahiti Resort, $312, not a night, per week. So you can pick from hotels and condos in over 141 countries. Yes, save up to 20 to 75% on 1 million plus hotel rooms in over 141 countries, and up to 75 and even I've seen 90% savings on condo vacations. You can earn points towards free trips as well. Savings number 5, the true car auto buying. Save up to $4,000 on new cars, deals on used cars as well, employee benefit discounts. How would you like to pay less for your bills, your common bills like phone, TV, internet, satellite, alarm? Savings Highway Global members are saving on average $500 to $1,000. You can get started with our gold membership for as little as $20 and save $500 to $1,000 or more in your first month. It's as simple as that. We call and renegotiate bills for you. Did you know that 80% of people and businesses are overpaying on their bills? We save members $500, $1,000 or more just on residential bills. But if you're a business owner like one of our happy members, Harold, he saves $62,000 on his bills because he owned a bunch of Papa John stores. So we're saving businesses $5,000 to $20,000 per location. Do you own a business? Do you know someone that owns a business? This could be dramatic. But even if you don't own a business, how would you like to save money on your residential bills without changing any vendors? Terrific. Savings club number 7, save on domain names, hosting, and so much more. Savings number 8, yes, many of you are overpaying for your taxes. The legendary Sandy Botkin, who is a platinum mentor for us at Savings Highway Global, CPA, former IRS tax attorney, he says that every North American taxpayer who works a full-time job and does not have a side business could be overpaying to a tune of $3,000 to $9,000 a year. How would you like to increase your cash flow because you have a home-based business, you have legitimate legal tax deductions that you can take advantage of? So many times through my 30-year career, I've seen people with negative cash flow. By doing this one move, by having a home-based business, as long as you have an intention to make a profit and plug into the training, you can increase your cash flow so your lifestyle can be improved and you can start saving money for your future and make your life so much more solid. And start vacationing as well. How about affordable health care? We have that as well. It's not health insurance. However, they may be right for you and your family. We have plans for as low as $114. Details in your back office when you sign up. Everyone has to eat. Now save on groceries and dining. All details there. That's all available at the gold level at $20. You can become a member today. There are no contracts. There are no hoops. There are no loops. Now I'm going to talk to you about a very special Platinum Partner program. For only $100, you can receive $4,000 in free bonuses. How would you like that? Number 1 bonus for Platinum Partner, a $500 grocery savings card. Bonus number 2, a $500 shopping and dining card. Bonus number 3, a $3,200 value 5-Diamond Dream Vacation. As a Platinum member, you receive an amazing 5-Diamond Dream Vacation at the end of 1 year, right? Loyalty has its privileges. Your Platinum Vacation is worth in excess of $3,000, and now you can also choose from many popular destinations in the U.S. and Europe, in addition to Mexico. $3,200 value, 5-Diamond Vacation on layaway. When you are a Platinum Partner at $100 a month, you earn a point every month. Once you have 12 points, pack your bags and get ready for paradise. Our members are saying this membership should cost thousands of dollars. Again, here's Harold saying he saved over $62,000 with our program. Leisha says she saved $1,000 on car insurance. Karen saved $595. She loves this company. Fern saved $2,300. Dave Underwood saved $746. Kevin saved $400 on a brand new laptop. Very happy. Ed just came back from that 5-Diamond Platinum Vacation to Mexico with his family. Very happy. And Robert Lofton saved $1,080. And here I am saving $1,640 plus the $80 because I could cancel AAA. Don't need it because I have Savings Highway Global, a total of $1,720. That's just one of the ways we saved in excess of over $10,000 in the last 12 months we saved. Let's say $4,300 on purchasing a new Dodge Journey. Well, it's clear it's a no-brainer as a customer. But here's the question. Do you want to save money, make money, or both? Save, share, prosper. Welcome to the most lucrative compensation plan I have ever seen over 30 years as a home-based business owner, a former CEO of a home-based business, and on the advisory board for 4 different global companies. This is the best opportunity that I've seen. There's 10 ways you can get paid. 1 through 10, fast start bonuses, 50% unlimited, 100% Infinity power codes, 80% monthly residuals, Infinity matching bonuses, membership income, lowering your bills, healthcare discount income, contests, hotel weekend giveaways, and a corporate profit sharing plan that'll make you feel like you're really a partner with a global company. I've never seen anything better. Income number 1, 50% fast start bonuses. Example, you sign up a gold member, they come in at $20, you make $10. You sign up a platinum member at $100, you make $50. That's unlimited. Number 2, 100% Infinity power codes. Simple as this. On your 3rd referral, you become a manager. Congratulations. You help your 3rd referral sponsor his or first 2 platinum partners. When they make $50, you make a matching $50 from the company. So it goes on their first 2 and their first 2, infinity wide and infinity deep. Income number 3, 25% monthly personal referral bonuses. Residual income, make an effort once, get paid for it for a lifetime, over and over again. As long as you're active and your members are active, you will continue to receive this residual income. 20% residual plus, combine that with the 5% matrix commission, and you are earning 25% monthly for each of your personally enrolled referrals. That is why we say refer for and pay no more. Income stream number 4, the $47 million matrix. And again, another disclaimer, no guarantees of income. All results will vary. So the matrix pays you monthly starting in month 2. Just by referring 3 members who refer 3, only 7 levels deep, you will earn between $3,000 and $16,000 per month. Income stream number 5, unlimited 10% matching. So everyone you personally enroll, when you go executive or director, you get a 5% match. Executive, you get a 10% match. So that's exciting to go even deeper. At the consultant level, all you have to do is refer 2 people, you rank up, and you're in qualification to make money. 10 levels for your 2x10 organization. Manager, 3 personal referrals. You rank up to manager, and you earn up to 10 levels in your 3x10 organization. And at director, when you refer 5 personal referrals that are active, you are now making money on a 3x11 organization. And finally, at the executive level, when you personally enroll 10 active members, you now get the benefit in your 3x12 organization and earn up to $47 million a year. Well, let's discount that a little bit. How about 10% of that? $4.7 million a year. How about 1%? That would be $470,000 of extra income. And how about 1/10 of 1%, an extra $47,000 a year? Again, all results will vary, but these are the mathematical equation. It's the natural geometric progression of numbers. You just get started, you enroll a few people, and you start to build. Income stream number 6, lowering your bills income. When you help businesses save money, you get paid 10% matching bonus. So you save them $5,000, you make $500, 10% bonus there. So per location, if they had 100 locations, you save them $500,000, your commission could be $50,000. Of course, it's always great to help residential people that are just saving $1,000. You make $100. Number 7, monthly healthcare income. This product is offered by a referral system, not by Savings Highway, and it is not insurance. Number 8, lucrative contests that are always coming up. Hotel weekend giveaways. Customers will order a 3-day, 2-night getaway for only $19.95, and then you make compensation on that. Income stream number 10, 5% corporate profit sharing. And here is our big fast start bonus. When you get started, when you refer 3 platinum partners in your first 7 days, you'll make $250. 5 platinum partners in your first 14 days, $450. Refer 10 platinum partners in your first 30 days, $1,000. Details in your back office. So how do you get paid? Visa debit card, which you can transfer that money straight into your bank account, or by Bitcoin, get paid weekly. Take advantage of this opportunity. Start saving and earning right now. You can build a legacy with this company, Savings Highway Global. Save thousands on things you're already paying for, earn monthly income, become debt-free, become financially abundant, and so much more. Join us in our mission to help 1 million plus families become debt-free. So the choice is yours. You too can live the workcation lifestyle. You can save thousands on vacations. You can get paid to travel, get amazing tax deductions, and so much more. Here's your choice. Get back to the person who brought you to this video. Click the join button on their website, and you can get started for as little as $20 and become a gold member today. Here are the benefits. Amazing savings portal, world's greatest travel engine, lowering your bills access, and just get started. That's your pinky toe in the water to give us a try. There's no contracts here. If you've seen enough and you're the type of person that likes to get extreme value, get all the benefits, this is the most popular way to get started. Become a platinum partner. You'll get everything in the gold, plus you'll get the platinum $3,200 dream vacation program, the $500 shopping and dining bonus, the $500 grocery card bonus, and you'll be able to participate in all of the amazing contests. You'll get priority support and so much more. I just want to congratulate you in advance for making a great decision. Do like I did so you can start saving some money, start helping others make money. So again, the question is, what's most important to you? Saving money, making money, or both? Your choice. Do you want to get started at gold at $20, put your toe in the water, or do you want to go all in at platinum at $100 and get all of the benefits? Get back to the person who introduced you to this presentation and get started today. God bless you and your family, and we'll see you on the inside.
So for that Savings Highway Global, guys. Any
Okay,
questions?
so you basically pay to, be a member, and then you just take advantage of all the savings and then recruit other people to buy memberships, basically. Is that all it is?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You're basically utilizing the membership that you're paying for and sharing. So these are basically all referral based systems, but instead of let's just say, what is another company we could say doing stuff like this? Like the insurance company for Progressive getting paid for you, you're now on the receiving end. You're the one that's getting some type of payment out of it by building a network, letting your network, you're building a network, and because we all know our network is going to be our net worth. Jobs are not coming back. So we got to get in the
Right.
mindset of creating these, utilizing these type of incomes for ourselves, these streams of incomes, and networking with people, not necessarily having to like them, but taking advantage of the opportunities that are available. So this is a great one. I thought it would be great because what better time is it, we're in now when inflation is rising. If people can start saving on things such as car insurance, that until we are able to get the knowledge that we need to get from up under this stuff completely, or the Nasara Jasara, whichever one kicks in before the other, whatever, then this is a way for us to utilize and not just generate savings, but also generate income for ourselves by showing other people how to also save money. Not only is it for just individual people, but you can also show this to different businesses as well and sign up businesses.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot of people are taking advantage of this right now.
I passed it on to a few people. I signed up for the gold. So I signed up and I passed it on to a few people,
Mm-hmm.
told a few people, about it at my job. So I don't know if they're interested, but I did pass it on. So, and then as you mentioned about just Sarah, I heard the other day that they said that the med beds are supposed to be they're supposed to be announcing about the med beds in December of this year
Yep.
to
I just
January.
heard that today. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm hearing the same thing.
I'm like,
With
I
these
believe it when I
dates,
see it.
right? That's what I was getting ready to say. With these dates, I can't base my life on it no more because we've been getting dates after dates after dates, and then
Yeah,
so it's like,
exactly. That's why I said you'll see. I believe it when I see it because every day it's oh, it's gonna happen tomorrow. It's gonna happen tomorrow. It's gonna happen tomorrow. And tomorrow.
I just heard, I saw something about the PCR tests are supposed to be canceled, like go out of circulation or whatever, like December 31st or something like that. I was just noticing the dates are kind of close to each other.
PCR test. What is that?
The tests that they've been infecting people with to test for COVID.
Oh,
yeah, it have been I guess, a lot of different dates coming out for December year end, before the year ends, before 2022 and stuff like that. So I agree.
Mm.
Kind
yeah,
of
there's something coming. I don't know what it is, but
right.
something. And so I know it's something big, and not
Mhm.
something big's coming. So all I can do is just get your popcorn and get a comfy seat because it's going to be interesting.
Earlier
Really.
today, one of the young ladies on Facebook that I follow, she was saying, I don't know, have you guys been noticing outages or whatever? They're saying tens of thousands of people across the country are experiencing outages with Comcast and electricity services outages or whatever. So they're kind of thinking like it's getting ready to go down now or whatever. But then on the other hand, I've been hearing that apparently that supposedly 10 days of darkness was not for us. It was actually for the deep state.
That's even better.
So
That's even better because they're the ones that are supposed to be in darkness and going through hell, not us.
right,
I mean, we've already gone through our 400 plus years of tribulation. So we're good. We've met our quota.
exactly. So
I was just thinking about that, you guys. I was thinking, well, what is the darkness? Exactly what you guys are saying. I'm like, I don't think we're supposed to be going through it.
right,
Not
right.
us.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got, me personally, I don't even think that we should be going through any of this crap with the coronavirus or the shots or anything like that. We should be just sitting over here, just watching and just enjoying our lives. We should be having our money coming in. We should be having our champagne coming in and just chilling because we've already gone through our hell. We've done our part. This should be on them now, 100%. They're the only ones that should be going through it, not us. We've already gone through our part. Why we got to go through it with them? They didn't go through it with us.
I agree.
Yeah, I just learned yesterday that my mayor has been missing in action for 2 weeks.
Who?
Yeah,
I had no
I
idea.
read that earlier.
Who?
The mayor of
My
California.
mayor in California.
Oh, yeah. I heard that today. I didn't know anything about that. I heard that today. I'm like, okay, so he's missing.
Right here. I
Any-
had no idea.
The other person that needs to be missing is, should have been missing is Bill Gates. He's talking about biowarfare or something. Did you hear about that?
No.
Talking about that, about germ warfare. He's talking about germ warfare is gonna hit.
Him?
Yes. He's talking about germ warfare now, that it's gonna hit, it's gonna be all over the world and whatever. So prepare for that. I'm like, you know what? Oh, why don't you just prepare for a lynching? And you can have my COVID shot and everybody else that you think should get it, that don't want it. You should get their shots too, and you should inhale all that germ warfare. And just, I don't understand how this man who is supposed to be at Microsoft computer and he's on the medical side doing all this other stuff. I mean, when did he get his degree in as a doctor?
It's his bloodline that's giving him license to do all this.
Yeah,
right,
well,
basically. Yeah, he's the his mother is Margaret Sanger.
yeah,
And
isn't she
she's the
related
one
to Adolf Hitler or something?
I don't know. No, she's the one over eugenics. She's the one who started the eugenics movement.
Oh,
And
okay.
the
Yeah.
Planned
Harriet
Parenthood.
Planned, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been on some crazy stuff for a long time. A very long time.
Yeah, very, very long time. It's time for them to vacate the premises. I'm over them, way over them.
Absolutely.
You know, those people are like toxic people. I just don't understand why they're still here. And because they all the things that they've done, and to me they're like protecting them, so to speak, because all the things that they have done, pedophilia, adrenochrome, all the things that they've done, and they're saying that they've killed some of them in the background, but then they're like, well, we don't want the public to know. Well, why not? Because everything they're doing is affecting the public.
Right.
So why are you hiding everything? To protect, quote unquote, white people from their, their feelings or whatever? Forget their feelings.
Really what it is.
Because that's all it is.
Right.
That's all it is. Put it out there on TV. Just like you put everything out about us on TV.
Right.
Put it all out there. Let it all hang out.
I hear you on that, Mother. I agree with that.
Let it all hang out. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'll pull up. Believe me, I'll be the first one to pull up a seat. I don't like popcorn, but I'll get some popcorn.
Okay, exactly.
Okay,
Just get
I'll
your
sit there
favorite
and
snack.
watch that. I'll watch that.
I'm anticipating a movie, really, like, cause this stuff we've been watching is honestly boring.
I know.
So, bring on the
Uh,
good stuff. Let the good stuff begin.
Exactly.
Ooh, like,
Exactly. Exactly. Let it begin. It's about time it start. I'm tired of hearing, oh, tomorrow, we're gonna do it tomorrow. No, your guys'
mhm,
tomorrow never comes.
right.
Put it on TV, national TV, let it go worldwide, and let them sit there about their crimes, let the tribunal tell about all the crimes, and then proceed to give them their punishment, be it hanging, electric chair. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't have a problem watching that. I have no problem
Exactly.
because it's happening to them. We've been going through hell. Yeah, I want to see them go through hell. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. No.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, I'm not gonna hold you all any longer. It's been good. If no one else has any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end it for tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow for meditation. Been trying out some different meditations, so I think I have a good one I want to try for us tomorrow. So see you
Oh, Mother
What time
Shay,
is meditation?
at 6 p.m. Same
Mother
Three
time.
o'clock for me. Okay. I'm
Shay, I
gonna have
wanted
to
to ask you about
sneak
the
away.
mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where that can be acquired? And if so, can you drop that link in my Telegram for me? Would that be okay?
Are you talking about the lion's mane?
No, the other mushroom.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I will.
What kind of mushroom y'all talking about?
Mushrooms.
Oh, that woke Mother Martin.
The other mushroom. I meant to ask you that for a long time. I keep
The
forgetting.
magic mushrooms, psychedelic healing mushrooms. There's a
Mm.
group. If you're on Facebook, there's a group. I
Oh,
actually put Mother in too, so I can add you to the group, or I'll send you the link, and then
Okay.
you can join the group.
Okay. That sounds good. I can
Okay.
get with that. Thank you.
Okay.
wait, quick note on mushrooms. I was just reading about, I wrote it down. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but mushroom is like a new way to build houses, to build things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a certain type of mushroom root you can use. I mean, it's a
Wow.
process. You grow it and make bricks and stuff out of it, but yep. And it's gonna replace things like leather and
That's
all kinds of different goods.
I can see that. Wow. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's different. Very different. Because now they're even talking about mushrooms is becoming a great food source. And a lot of it's I'm thinking about even starting going to growing it. As you guys know, I've been growing the lion's mane. So now I'm thinking about getting other types and starting to grow that as well. But they're now talking about like in I guess it's very prevalent in what did they say, Pennsylvania or Philadelphia or somewhere out there, where the mushroom growing farms are having a hard time keeping up with production because they can't get any workers. And the mushrooms grow so quickly. Yeah, they can't get any workers, and the migrants that they can't that it's hard for them to keep migrant workers as well because they're being deported back over at home and stuff like that. And the farming laws are different when you're growing because the mushrooms are like seasonal farming, and I guess the immigrants only have a certain amount of time that they can come here. I mean, mushrooms are all a year round farming, and the migrants only have access to seasonal farming to be able to come over here and work. So it's a whole debacle, but I'm thinking about getting into it because mushrooms has so many healing benefits. Did the
Yeah, it
different
does.
types of mushrooms that I'm learning about, and then y'all those when we fried up them lion's mane. Oh my
Isn't
God,
that good?
it
Isn't that
is
mushroom good?
so delicious.
Oh, the mushrooms. I use that. I get mushrooms and I try to I use that. That's my meat. I use it as meat instead
Mhm.
of actually eating meat.
Mhm.
Oh, did you guys hear about that? Sorry to hold you guys up, but I'm sorry. As I talk about meat, did you hear about that? They're starting to grow meat in laboratories and sell that in
Yeah.
the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been hearing about not grow it
Yeah,
though, but them
Yeah.
taking making meat from other products.
No. They're
Talking about from
growing. They
humans,
said
from
they're
people
growing
too.
meat in the lab. In the
Mm,
lab,
mm,
and then going to slowly put that in grocery stores. And of course, they're not going to
No,
tell
they're
people.
doing it already. They're
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
already.
right, because if they telling us about it, they already doing it. Right, basically. Oh, we guys, we gotta be careful. Just,
Yeah.
that's why I'm
And your
every day.
boy, BG, he's doing 3D meat.
Who
Who?
is that?
Who's
Oh,
this?
Bill Gates.
Three,
Oh, BG.
yeah,
Oh,
three, whatever that
when
is.
I was telling,
And then he's also growing the potatoes for
And I
McDonald's and
heard
no telling
lettuce
what else.
too. I heard doing
Yeah,
the
and they're
lettuce,
actually trying to put the vaccine in
put the
in the
vaccine and
vegetables too.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I was talking to this mother, and she said that when I told her about the meat, she said it's probably there's probably dead people meat they're gonna grind
Yeah,
up and sell it to
they
everybody.
are. They
That
are.
is happening too. They have already found human DNA and rat
Yeah.
DNA.
Yeah,
Definitely in the fast food.
in McDonald's food, they said McDonald's food.
Mhm.
I was like, I stopped eating McDonald's fast food years and years and years ago.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. The last time I tried to eat a McDonald's burger, I started projectile vomiting. I'm serious.
no, I haven't
It
eaten
was
one in
not cute.
years. I mean, years. But you know what? Like, if I'm trying to get some, like, try to start growing, get some seeds. I did get some seeds. I want to grow them, but my transportation is what's holding everything up for me. So I want to get some plants and some dirt and do that. And but I don't know if anybody knows, but like banana water is really, really good for your plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Really, really good
And
for your plants.
eggshells.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mother, you know where I get a lot? 'Cause I know you actually used to grow microgreens not too long ago, but you can go right on eBay, and I would recommend getting the heirloom seeds because
Mm.
they're old before they really started messing with the seeds and the soil and everything.
Where'd you go and get that? I'm sorry.
On eBay, go right on eBay.
You'll find them on eBay, on
People on
Etsy.
Etsy too. Etsy has a lot of good seeds too.
Okay.
Yeah, Etsy.
eBay and Etsy. Yeah, I love Etsy.
Yeah, me
Mhm.
too.
For heirloom seeds.
Yeah.
Heirloom seeds, yeah.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you
Because
don't have to go far. And then for soil, I mean, you can go right to Home Depot for soil if you have one close to you.
I do have one close to me, but like I said, I don't have a vehicle anymore. I
No,
used
no
to have
worries.
one, and then with COVID, everything kind of,
No, I get it. I
yeah.
understand.
Can you
You
order
can
So
it
you
start
can,
create.
have it mailed to you? Can you
I-
order stuff
yeah.
online?
I was thinking about that because I went on to the Home Depot site to order something else, and they at the time I don't think they had delivery. They don't have delivery at Home Depot. I'm probably gonna have to do it at Walmart, but I'm kind of iffy about Walmart nowadays and a lot of
as
their
you
things.
should be. Yeah.
Right.
So
But you can also look into growing on like coconut coir, or
Right.
there's a lot of things you can do without soil. There's a lot of things you can regrow in glass jars.
Right.
yeah,
And
like sprouts. I
also,
know sprouts you can grow. You can grow that without dirt.
yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, okay. Sorry for holding you up, Mother Shamery.
No, you're
How come you don't go to Mia, Mother Mia Shea? What's her name? Mia Shea?
Yeah, Mia Shea. I'll get you to it. Both of your names mixed up because it's so similar to me. You know, because hers is Mia Shea and yours is Shea Marie. It's like, you know, one time I was talking to her and I was like, I swear I was talking to you, and I was like, wait, no, the voices just don't sound the same at all.
Right.
So, yeah, no, like she has her thing on Sunday, and I go
Yeah.
to it, but honestly, half the time I'm in the middle of doing something else, and then by the time I remember, the class is over. So when I
Yeah.
remember, I go. You know what I mean? I get
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah, she gives a lot of good tips.
Yes, she
Lots of
does.
great tips.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yeah, she helped me a lot with some other issue I had, and she was telling me exactly what to do, and I went and I did it, and it helped me a lot. I was like, wait, what? So yeah.
All ladies, if nothing else, not that I'm rushing you or anything.
All right, Mother. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your patience.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes.
Don't forget to send me my link.
Okay, I will. I will send it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Peace
All
and
right, you
love.
guys have a good evening.
Have a
Peace and
good
love.
evening.
Yes,
Bye.
yes.
Peace and
Bye.
love, everybody.
Peace and love, everyone. Where did that deep voice come from?
That's my husband. Come out of nowhere the whole time.
I'm telling you, that bass just kicked in at the last minute.